Hey everybody, it's me again. As always, I'd like you to join me for this next episode of Real World Prepper, and if you like everything that you see, please click that subscribe button and the bell notifications and you'll know every time that we upload new content. And now, here we go. Okay guys, this is going to be short and sweet. I just wanted to sort of add some ideas to a recent video that I did about fortifying your home. I'm going to call this one Home Security on a Budget or something to that effect. Kansas Prepper did another video today. It was Surviving in the City, I think was what he called it. And he had also done sort of a securing your home video prior to that, and then in this video he did today about surviving in the city, he added some more security type ideas, and it was for people designed in the city. And I hate to keep piggybacking, Kansas, forgive me here, but it's making me think of ideas that things that I had in my mind, and I a lot of times I write this stuff down and I map out what my thing's going to be about before I just turn on the camera and go, and sometimes I don't. So anyway, in that instance I did not, so I kind of had forgot some of the things I was thinking about, but we did talk about, and I'm going to add some things that Kansas talked about, improving the windows on your home by either putting that shatterproof film on it or putting plexiglass windows in, as he mentioned earlier today. Reinforcing the putting longer screws in your striker plate and in your hinges of your doors, maybe upgrading the doors, maybe some various plant stuff around, you know, under your windows in the flower boxes, idea that I had, and things like that. Thorny bushes up next to the house, things that would make it uninviting for a guest to creep that close to your house. Okay, another thing, and this is a couple of things that I meant to mention in my earlier video, a couple other things would be, one thing that we have thought about anyway is, and this will apply to after an SHTF event, provided your cars are still running, I plan on pulling my car right up in front of my door, or in front of my access to my front door area. The way the topography is, I'll be able to see over that thing and certainly through the windows, but that's one barrier that's going to be right there that will impede someone's progress. And I'm gated around the rest of the house. I plan on putting some sort of, and this is after the fact, some sort of barbed wire or other, you know, something that would cut you up and scrape you up pretty good if you tried to come over the fence, and something that's not easily removable. That's the plan. Another thing is to employ spike strips all along the wherever you want to, up by your flower bed or down the edge of the street or somewhere in between, or all points in between. Boards, put nails in them. I mean, this is low-tech stuff, real-world stuff that you can do. Put them in the yard, cover them up with leaves and stuff. Know that they're there. Remember that they're there so that you don't go stepping on them. Make them long enough and stiff enough nails that they would pierce shoes and things like that if need be. Or at the very least, that if somebody tripped over them, they would have a bad day when they fell on them. Another thing is Harbor Freight and places like these have these super cheap motion lights, and there are even motion activated sirens, things like that you could put out. Now, in a after SHTF, it's a tough call about whether or not you want lights popping on at night, depending on where you are and what your scenario is. You know, if you're out in the woods, let's say, for example, and I don't know, that's a tough call. You know, on the one hand, you don't want lights to draw people to you, especially if all the lights are out elsewhere. But you may be able to gauge, say, if you're in a semi-populated area or even in a city, you know, or a suburb or whatever, you can gauge there's probably going to be a bunch of other solar lights that are already out there, so maybe that won't be a big deal, but just something that will alert you. Maybe you're going to have the lights you know, have the motion sensor pointed towards the exterior, towards the perimeter that you're trying to kind of look after, but have the light pop in, especially if, say, electricity's off and these are solar lights, you know, they would pop off and shine towards your windows or something like that. And then, of course, you know, a siren going off too. Lights and loud noises usually deter people's want to continue with their goal. Now, in a post SHTF situation, you never know what you're going to be looking at. So in that situation, I would say if you're living your life that way after the fact, and you know, you put yourself down for the night or whatever the case may be, and of course always somebody should be on point, on guard, but you yourself, the guy whose turn it is to rest, should have your sidearm or rifle or something right there with you, so you could go into action at any time, you know, or as quickly as need be. It's going to be a different world, so you're going to have to employ different tactics. Anything that will slow a person down or stop a person, you know, or even injure them in the process of them trying to illegally and improperly enter your house or your domain or to break in, frankly, I say go for it and employ those tactics, any and all of them. So anyway, that was it. Just a couple things I wanted to add. Again, not meaning to piggyback on my earlier video and on, you know, Kansas's, but really, as I watched his videos and kind of reviewing mine, these other things were popping in my head, and I thought, let me get these down real quick. Just other ideas, real world prepper, things you can do on the low. So I like the car idea. I've thought about that for a long time, parking the cars in front of the access, like I say, to the front of my house. Now, what you don't know is I have a way easily out both ways, but it would certainly impede someone trying to come in. But anyway, just a couple other ideas to throw at you. Appreciate your time. Keep checking in for further updates, and we'll see you next time on Real World Prepper. Thanks. Bye.